Like and subscribe now, or you're gonna have bad luck this week.
On average, humans blink 20 times a day. Unless you're having a blinking contest, this is your average too. When you don't blink, your cornea may swell, and your eyes will lose the nutrients they need. Imagine the things we miss just by blinking, because a lot can happen, even in a millisecond. In this video, we're showing 10 scary clips, in which case you'll need to not blink. Got it? Alright, let's start. Number 10. The Girl in Red. Let's start this video with an urban legend from Taiwan. The family in this famous video went on holiday together in a faraway mountain. As they walked to the location, a member of the family took out their camera to capture the beautiful moment. We see how each member of the family waves at the camera in excitement. Sadly, after the vacation, one of the family members died of a mysterious ailment. Thankfully, they'd spent memorable times with him. There is video evidence to prove that. One day, they decided to play the footage. They received several shockers. First, the deceased's face was strange as it didn't look like him. But that's not all. A girl in red wasn't part of the family, but featured significantly in the video. Neither of them knew her, nor invited her for the tour. She followed closely behind with a stern look on her face. Do you think she had a hand in the death of their loved one? Number 9. Unwelcome roommate. All couples fight at times when it comes to food because food's more important than any relationship. Actor Joe Cummings from Manhattan, New York, confronted his girlfriend when he noticed food that he wasn't eating kept going missing. But after his partner denied it, he set up a hidden camera in his kitchen to find out the truth. And it was utterly creepy. Night vision footage shows a woman drop down from a hard-to-reach cupboard above the door. She carefully places her feet on a nearby table before quietly stepping onto a stool, then down to the floor. The intruder then walks over to Joe's sink and urinates in it before opening his fridge and raiding it for food and drinks. She then appears to sit on his sofa and watch television before hitting the fridge for further snacks and returning to her little hideaway hole. Joe phoned the police and the woman was arrested and later discovered she'd been living in the cupboard for 2 weeks. How creepy is that? Number 8. Events in a haunted house. You could be living in a haunted house unknowingly. How then do you know those strange creatures aren't after you? Sometimes these uncertain beings are not after places, but personalities. As you watch this clip, you'll be convinced that something is undoubtedly after this young woman. This young woman noticed bizarre movements in her home and even heard voices. She even claims that the creature touched her cheeks as she slept. She took things a step further by pouring flour on the floor to capture their footprints. The day before, she made a live video where a strange figure lurked behind her. She didn't see the being, but her viewers did. After she zoomed in, she noticed 2 horrific-looking creatures at the window. It looked like they were spying on her. But why would these strange events follow her to another room? Days later, she visits a hotel, and things are the same. This beautiful room is also haunted, and she doesn't get to enjoy peace. Number 7. Strange sounds in a small house. A young man made a video of his house after speculating that an evil spirit could live there. In the first video, we hear an unexplainable sound that comes from seemingly nowhere. The second video is even worse because we hear inaudible words. The noise is similar to a helicopter sound, but there's no airport around the house. Neither is any airplane hovering above them. The sound is louder this time, and you're forced to believe that something supernatural may be going on underground. Would you leave your home if you discovered such noises, or shove them under the carpet as mere child's play? Number 6. A TikTok user scare. A TikTok user posted a video she tagged the scariest moment of her life. Here's what happened in this seemingly regular video. She was filming in the room with her boyfriend. What was supposed to be a goofy moment turned out to be the scariest moment of her life. As the video starts, we see her and her boyfriend talking about weird noises in their room. He doubts her at first, but then he moves closer to see things for himself. He didn't get to the door before he noticed movements around the door. It was swinging and bashing like a friend was trying to scare him. The door suddenly swings open by itself, and the boy jumps on the bed in fear. The couple live alone in the house, and it's okay to say there was no one behind the door. Their reaction didn't seem like they were joking. What would you do if it were you? Does this pass for a ghostly appearance too? Number 5. A young girl dancing to the camera. It's the era of social media, and everyone wants to show off their dance steps. This young girl is not left out of the razzmatazz as she must show the world what she's got. Unfortunately, she's more concerned with her moves rather than her environment. There seems to be a ghostly figure behind the staircase looking at her. A closer look at the footage reveals a young woman who seems to be pale. Her figure's questionable, and we can't say for sure what planet it emanated from. The creature's expression is blank, and it makes you wonder what its motives are. I bet this lady would have screamed for help if she had noticed this earlier. Ugh, yuck. This is terrifying. Number 4, Men in Black. Next up, we have this really weird and mysterious story that'll leave you shocked. Back in 2018, a woman named Nicole was working alone at a law office one evening when a man dressed in all black appeared at the window, where he proceeded to stand for a short time before entering the office. Once inside, he talks to Nicole, and after a few moments, she pulls out a gun that the firm kept for protection, a common practice in the area. Suddenly, the man in black gestures with his hand, and Nicole appears to turn and lays the gun down on the counter robotically. The man then tells her to retrieve a camera from her purse. She complies, taking the camera and following the mysterious man out of the building. When other employees returned the next day, they found her purse left behind, the gun on the counter, and the doors unlocked. Nicole had simply walked away at the instruction of this stranger. As it turns out, Nicole would resurface later in the week with an incredible story. She recounted being taken into a plain room where people seemed to communicate via telepathy and where she was rendered completely motionless. After telling them everything she could, they injected her with a shot that, according to them, would wipe out her memory. But when she woke, she had perfect recollection of the entire thing. Is this a Men in Black script, or are there aliens living among us? Number 3, Exploration in a Funeral Home. A YouTuber named RNK All Day explored what looked like an abandoned funeral home. From the look of things, it does seem like the building is haunted. It's said that the house was shut down a long time ago due to improper business operations. Family members weren't notified, and in many cases, the deceased remains weren't stored properly. To what end, you may ask? I don't have answers to that as well. As this YouTuber inches forward, he finds more reasons to believe this funeral home was dubious in its operations. He finds an abandoned box in a plastic bag. Inside that, the bag is filled with ashes. No doubt this is certainly the ashes of someone from way back when. While you're still guessing how the ashes came about, the explorer opens the box further to see a note that says, "Cremation services." If you think there are loads of similar plastic bags around inside the building, you may be right. Who knows? This house could be haunted by the spirits of people who were not properly laid to rest. What do you think? Number 2, Ghost on the Road. A YouTuber uploaded this video in April of 2018, and it shows a person in a car coming across what appears to be a ghostly woman. The whole scene was recorded on dashcam. As you know, dashcams are used to record everything just so they can be helpful for insurance claims. But this dashcam shows something much more sinister. The car appears to be in the middle of nowhere when suddenly a woman appears in front of it, and the driver stops. It's pitch black everywhere other than the road, thanks to the vehicle's headlights. You can also see something spilled on the road, which also looks like it might be from the woman. She raises her hand, maybe calling for help, but the driver gets scared and leaves her there. Poor soul. Number 1, Spirit in the Bedroom. As for the video with the number 1 spot, we have this young woman trying to catch some sleep after a stressful day. However, this doesn't happen after we notice the door moves back and forth violently. She jumps up and is visibly scared and confused. She peeps through the corridor a little bit to try and catch a glimpse of what's going on. Could it be that a friend had stopped by? She shoves it off as mere speculation and attempts to go back to bed almost immediately. The lights begin to flicker. She grabs her phone and starts typing something. Who could she be texting? This woman is confused. She seems not to know the best move. If this were you, who would you call? A friend or the cops? Or maybe a priest? Have you ever had such a haunting experience? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.